clash between police and members of the community at a homeless cleanup in Denver today. A Denver City Councilwoman captures it all on camera, and tonight Denver police are responding.
When we vote, things change.
Plus, a key message to Americans: vote.
A country where we look out for one another, where we rise and fall as one.
On night 3 of the Democratic National Convention, Kamala Harris officially accepts her VP nomination. Our 360 coverage continues.
A Denver realtor loses her job, accused of stealing Black Lives Matter signs from neighboring yards. Tonight, she explains to Denver7 why she did it. Tonight's cell phone video captures chaos erupting between Denver police officers and bystanders. Denver police were working to clear a homeless encampment when things escalated.
Tonight, the head of the Denver Police Union is speaking out in response to the video. Chief Investigator Tony Kovaleski joins us with more.
Jessica Ann, it's video you have to see. By all indications, it turned into a street fight between billy club-using police officers and a large group. High-ranking sources inside the Denver Police Department telling me this incident is an example of organized anarchists trying to antagonize Denver police. It's video posted on a council member's Facebook page. You're hearing and watching things escalate quickly. This is video posted on a Facebook page and sent to Denver7. It started as a call to clear an encampment. And now listen closely to perhaps the most concerning moment on the 8-minute video clip.
Look at anybody who was hurt needs to sue. The liability went up after the state law changed. Everybody needs to start suing.
Denver7 has confirmed tonight there are ranking sources inside Denver City Hall who believe that is the voice of Councilwoman Candy C. DeBaca. And the president of Denver's police union also believes it's the voice of the councilwoman.
The most important thing that I took away from this is that a sitting representative, elected official from the city and county of Denver that the citizens elected was leading the charge to continue the chaos and destruction of our city.
Union President Nick Rogers candidly and passionately spoke out against a council member who has publicly called to defund Denver's police department.
We're not going to quit. We're not going to give up. We're not going to let Candy C. DeBaca make us quit. We're not going to let her win because we do what is right.
Now, we reached out to Councilwoman C. DeBaca. Calls to her cell phone and to her chief of staff not returned tonight. Denver police have launched an investigation into the incident. One man was arrested for possession of a replica firearm. 2 officers received minor injuries. We are requesting the body camera video. Ann?
All right, Tony, thank you. A prominent Denver real estate agent has been fired from RE/MAX for removing Black Lives Matter signs from lawns in the area where she lives. Denise Rich lives in Denver's Hilltop neighborhood, and a next-door user claims he witnessed her driving around removing the signs early in the morning on Saturday, August 1st. And he posted on the website that she had 6 to 8 signs in her car. Well, we spoke with Rich today. She admits to removing 2 Black Lives Matter signs from her neighborhood. She also says someone took her Trump sign. She says she returned the signs 3 hours later. Now, on the phone with Denver7, Rich called Black Lives Matter a terrorist organization, even going as far as to say the signs are as offensive as KKK signs. Now, RE/MAX says while everyone is entitled to their own views, they could not in good faith continue to be affiliated with someone who trespassed and took someone else's personal property. History was made tonight on night 3 of the Democratic National Convention. California Senator Kamala Harris is now the first woman of color to formally join a major party's presidential ticket.
Denver7's Gary Brode has a look back at tonight's moments.
I accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States of America.
Tonight, California Senator Kamala Harris making history as the first black woman and Asian American to be nominated to a major party's presidential ticket.
Let's fight with conviction. Let's fight with hope. Let's fight with confidence in ourselves and a commitment to each other. to the America we know is possible.
On the third night of the Democratic National Convention, the DNC highlighting black women who've introduced Harris throughout her campaign, and speeches where she touched on women's rights, ending mass incarceration, and advocating for the voiceless.
We see them and we hear them and that they matter.
Former President Barack Obama, who also once shared the ticket with Joe Biden, with a searing critique of his successor.
For close to 4 years now, he has shown no interest in putting in the work. No interest in finding common ground. No interest in using the awesome power of his office to help anyone but himself and his friends. No interest in treating the presidency as anything but one more reality show that he can use to get the attention he craves.
President Trump reacting to the excerpts of that speech even before it aired.
When I look at what we have, and I look at how bad he was, how ineffective a president he was so ineffective, so terrible.
Hillary Clinton, the woman who lost to Trump, urging Americans to come out this election.
If you vote by mail, request your ballot now and send it back right away. If you vote in person, do it early.
Other women making a case for the Democratic ticket at tonight's virtual convention included former Representative Gabrielle Giffords, who spent months practicing her remarks for this moment.
America needs all of us to speak out, even when you have to fight to find the words.
And Senator Elizabeth Warren looking to generate excitement from the left wing of her party.
Our economic system has been rigged to give bailouts to billionaires and kick dirt in the face of everyone else.
That was Gary Breaux. Now, as we continue our 360 reporting, we talked to former Colorado GOP Chair Steve House right after tonight's session wrapped.
House tuned in tonight expecting a celebration. Instead, he says he saw a bleak story without a happy ending.
Tonight was the night where they started out with Kerry Washington telling us that they were going to define the problems America had and define the solutions. They certainly defined the problems. I mean, it's a very dark set of problems that they were highlighting. I didn't hear a lot on the solution side, and we haven't all week.
And House, who is running to unseat Congressman Jason Crow in November, says expect to see more optimism during the Republican convention next week.
Right out of the gate, Kamala Harris has sent a message to Americans: vote. The latest CNN poll shows a majority of voters, 43%, are extremely enthusiastic about voting in this year's election. That's a new high in CNN polling that dates back to 2003. According to this same poll, 53% of registered voters back the Biden-Harris ticket, while 46% say they support Trump and Pence. This is right at the poll's margin of error of plus or minus 4%. But across the 15 battleground states, the poll shows Biden leading by just 1%, 49 to 48 among registered voters. Tomorrow, on the fourth and final night of the DNC, Joe Biden is expected to officially accept the party's nomination. You can count on our continued 360 coverage. And as a reminder, you can always watch the highlights and the DNC Live on our streaming apps for Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.
For those of you receiving unemployment today, Colorado was approved to tap into federal money to pay an extra $300 in weekly unemployment benefits. Now, the program only covers 3 weeks, and FEMA is now waiting to see how many other states apply before approving more weeks. And Denver7 told you about thousands of calls a day going unanswered at Colorado's unemployment call center. New technology was supposed to solve that. Lamina Olson says when she called, the virtual assistant answered, but wasn't helpful. She called when one unemployment payment came, but not the next or the next. And the earliest she could schedule a call back from a real person was October 12th.
What am I going to do for 2 months? I don't think that's acceptable at all. Because my management company, they wanted answers. They wanted to know how much exactly I could pay.
A labor and employment spokeswoman says the virtual assistant has scheduled more than 20,000 callbacks. They've also hired more agents for callbacks and are now also working on Saturdays.
Just 2 days after school started, Fort Lupton High School is now moving classes from in-person to remote learning for at least the next 2 weeks. This morning, we learned a student in a cohort tested positive for coronavirus. Then just a few hours later, the Weld RE8 school district announced another positive case in a second cohort. There are only 2 cohorts in the school, meaning the entire school is now forced to quarantine.